Forgive me, Father, because I think this is a sin. Today, we're going to be talking about the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the R5 Mark II. It's okay. It's not in there. Don't worry. And we're going to be comparing the two cameras. And I think the iPhone 15 Pro Max might beat the R5 Mark II in photos. Yeah, I said it. Don't hurt me. But instead of just saying it, let's try and prove it. And really what I'm trying to prove is how far along the iPhone 15 has come from other phones and why it could be a contender now. And to also show that you don't have to buy a $5,000 camera when you can just take your phone and go out and start shooting photos. Now, with that being said, making sure that it can shoot in RAW. But first, let's start with the rules for this little competition. 1, gotta shoot in the same focal length. Number 2, must shoot in the RAW format. Number 3, shooting the same object at the same time with the same light. And really what I'm trying to do is to make sure that these things are set to the same settings, or at least as close as possible, to at least make it a fair fight when it comes to how they shoot, where they shoot, what focal length they're shooting. Because if you start taking and throwing any of those out of balance, it might become an unfair advantage on either side. But let's first give the studio lighting a shot. At least before heading outside and testing it in outdoor conditions, let's kind of see what it looks like in more of a controlled circumstance. And can you really tell the difference between each photo? So how many did you get right? Now I understand that this, again, is under a professional lighting setup, and with those lights bouncing off and really giving it that nice glow. It was a very controlled atmosphere, but so let's kind of take this outside now and do a compare and contrast and see which one is which. I am feeling a little bit of a fall vibe out there right now. It's definitely a little crispy and those leaves are changing and they're popping. And I mean popping, like Mary Poppins. Coming up around this corner over here, getting back to Kebler Pass, and it's just really bumpy. Coming up on an S curve over here just before we get into Kebler Pass, and I think I want to get a good drone shot coming into it, so let's see what this looks like. Beam me up, Scotty. Houston, we have a problem. That's looking tasty. Look at this. Just like that. Oh, I'm excited for those. Those are going to be good.
I think I taste blood. I'm gonna test out the R5 Mark II and the iPhone Pro Max 15. iPhone 15 Pro Max. Do a comparison. Now I've got them both set at 24 millimeter, just to be fair. And I'm gonna go hunt down some trees, hunt down some rivers, hunt down some logs, hunt down some animals, anything I can get. And do a comparison of a side by side and see how they stack up. Do they compare? Are they miles apart? Are they leagues apart? Are they close together? Can you tell the difference? Let's go find out. Oh, I think I found a spot. This looks good. Oh, I'm excited. I need a new battery. Crap. Well, now I need a new battery. Come on, battery. Why right now? Oh, here's a good spot. Come on. Gotta beat that sun. Gotta beat that sun. I'm trying to get up there. Oh, it's looking good. Look at that. It's looking real good. Let's get some of these trees. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Ooh. Let's look at some of this. I think I just heard some elk. Off in the distance. It was like, sounds more like a turkey. It was like way out there. Go find it. Oh, who put all this here? Did you see the Jeep? Look, this is in rough shape. This is really rough. Put this through its paces today. Whew. What else are Jeeps for? Doing that. This has to be the best view right now. While I may not have seen the elk today, what I did see are cows. Yeah. Cows. Cows on the road. Okay. Moo cows. Got milk?
Yeah.
Hello. Excuse me, sir. Do you know where the nearest steakhouse is? No? How about you? No? You either? How about your little baby veal over here? Hello? What'd your mom and dad say? Moo. Steak and eggs. Say steak and eggs. Day completed. Saw that elk way out there and they're just bugling away. It is amazing. I think I caught them. Maybe I can show them here in just a minute. But it was pretty dark. But you can hear them out there just. That sounded more like a choking penguin, but they're out there. Bunch of them.
That was a day. Did you see all those colors in that elk? Let's just say I'm ready for an elk burger now with some cheese fries and a shake. But after that epic time in the mountains, how did those photos turn out? I must have done a U-turn about 20 different times trying to catch that sun so low. I mean, it was everywhere. But what I want to get into with these two cameras is the differences between the two and take a closer look in the photo department. Did I really just say department? Oh, you just hear my mom. Are we going to the department store? Will I go to the department store? Yeah. I digress. First, let's take a look at this photo, for instance. Now you can see that it's got sharp images kind of all over. Everything about that photo looks a little bit cleaner. The edges look a little bit sharper. And the bokeh on it is more of a digital bokeh. And I think that's what really gives away the iPhone photos versus the camera photos. Because the bokeh itself is digital. It's not that the camera has a lens on there that can give that kind of bokeh. It is post-processing inside of the phone. That's why you can see when you really zoom in that the bokeh looks like it's behind the subject or it's hidden by the subject where the subject sticks out and then it's all the bokeh. So it gives more of a crisper edge to it. But when you compare it to the actual camera body with a rather large lens and that piece of glass on like this one, and you can just see like they put a lot of time and effort into shaping that glass, and it's heavy for a reason. There is so much going on inside of a lens, and that's what gives a professional camera versus an iPhone. It blends the bokeh with your subject. It doesn't just put it in the background, it actually blends the edges together, and that's why instead of giving it a digitized look, these type of cameras give, with these lenses paired to them, it gives that look that you're going for with the blurred, nice, mushy background and all that buttery smoothness when you see a photo that has bokeh in it. And it's not to say that the iPhone camera is bad, it's just cramming a piece of glass into an iPhone and expecting the same result. That's really far stretched, and that doesn't mean it can't happen in the future with different technologies. It's just as of right now, this is about as close as it's gonna get because it is so difficult now to tell the difference between the iPhones or other cell phone cameras that are really good with this technology and the way it post-processes in the phones. It's really amazing to see what millions of people can do now just with their phones, and you can practically use it on professional projects and get paid for it. It's that good now. Now, still, nothing's gonna really beat the glass, and I think that's what gives the cameras, the professional cameras, an edge, is the glass that's involved and the technology that's involved with that. It's really leveled the playing field when it comes to taking photos, and now you can, instead of taking these cameras, and they are heavy. I mean, compared to a cell phone, they're heavy, and you're going on vacation or you're just going to go out and shoot something. Instead of taking this big bulky camera, now you can just take your iPhone and go snap those photos. Now, I'm usually going to take this if I'm really trying to get a good photo and do some good editing on it. Like I'm definitely taking my camera. The phone is more used for, okay, I'm out and around and I'm walking. That looks like an amazing shot. I can take it and still have confidence that I get to edit it basically the same way that I would edit my professional camera, in the sense that it's a raw file and I can play with those color balancing and I can play with the contrast and the saturation and all those different things. Now, granted, the iPhone does tend to give a little more saturation to your colors, so you're trying to battle that. And there's ways to do that within the software. Still, the power of the phone is really high now, and it's really gotten to the point where you almost can't tell unless you're looking for it. And that really leads into, is it the equipment? Is it the photographer? You know, it's a blend, and that's at the end of the day is, what piece of equipment are you using? That's the best photo, is the one that you're taking with whatever you have, because you're supposed to get out there and practice. You're supposed to get out there and practice that composition, practice in different light, sun, high noon, dusk, evening, blue hour, golden hour. I mean, there's so many different times of day to shoot and so many different environments to shoot. So I'm curious, what do you think you would do if money wasn't an issue, would you just go for the light setup and mobile and ready, set, go? Or would you rather go with a more professional setup, or would you rather go with an iPhone or the phone setup that's a lot lighter than carrying around this big bulky camera? And there's many people out there using these phones to the maximum extent and getting great quality, great pictures, great video out of it. Speaking of video, let me know in the comments, would you like to see a video using the R5 Mark II, the 8K capabilities against the iPhone ProRes RAW capabilities? That might be interesting. Let me know what you think. Is it worth doing that? Would you like to see that? Especially since now we've kind of compared the photo side of things. Why not mix it up a little bit? Okay, that's it for today. On to the part where YouTubers tell you to do all the things like and subscribe. Subscribe for more elk yodels. And I'll see you on the flip side. Later.